Hi, my name is Sam. In this video, we are going to go over how to run a site audit using SEMrush. So first, you will need to log into your SEMrush account. You need an SEMrush account to do this. Once you're logged in, you can click on Projects up at the top here. And if you have already set up a project for your domain, then that's great. If you have not, you can come over and click Create a Project and then add your domain name. And if you want to give it a project name, you can do that and then click Create Project. From there, there's going to be the site health that shows up right here on the main projects dashboard. Or if you scroll down in the left-hand menu here, there's site audit. You can run it out of that as well. We are going to set it up from here. This is going to then give us our site audit settings. So we will run through these quickly, but we want to give it the domain. If you want subdomains in there, or you can set this to include subdomains or not include subdomains. Typically, I'm just going to have the main URL. You can limit how many pages it can crawl per audit. I usually go larger here just to make sure that we capture everything. And then crawl source, I'm just going to leave it at the website. But if you had a sitemap or entered the URL of the sitemap, you could give it that, and it would go through that as well. Down here, note that if you wanted to send an email when an audit's complete, you can check or uncheck that. The rest of these are all optional. So if you want, you could just skip down to schedule and then get it going. We'll run through the crawler settings quickly. So here you can look at what user agent is going to be crawling it and select that one. I typically am just keeping it as the site audit bot mobile, but you could do any of those. If you want there to be any delay between crawling pages, respecting your robots.txt, etc. And then if you wanted to look at JavaScript rendering, you can do all of that. I'm going to leave all of this as just the default for right now. If you want it to allow or disallow URLs, you can add those in there. If you want to remove URL parameters, you can do that. And then if you want to tell it to bypass the robots.txt file or crawl using specific credentials, you can set that up here. And then you can set a schedule. By default, it's going to go weekly. In this case, I just wanted to do it once, and so we're going to do that. And then we will click Start Site Audit. So it's going to then kick you off to getting started. It'll come back to your site audit under the projects here. And then you can see it crawling pages here. It can take, it's going to depend on how long how many pages, I should say, your website has will determine how long it's going to take. It can be anywhere from a couple minutes to maybe, I guess you have a really big site, that could take 30 minutes, an hour. Normally it'll go fairly quickly, but again, it depends how big your site is. I'm going to pause this video and we're going to come back when the audit is finished. All right, we are done. That only took about 2 or 3 minutes. There weren't tons of pages here, but you can see now it had crawled 87 pages. And then we have a site health score of 84%. Then it will highlight the errors, the warnings, and a few other pieces there. So what we want to do once you run it, I'll go to the site health. This is going to bring us to the site audit dashboard. This is where down on the left here you could click that. If you had multiple projects, you can go through the different projects up there. But now here you can see your site health. You can see how many errors you have, how many warnings you have, how many notices you have. Basically, errors are usually the most important, warnings slightly less important, and then notices slightly less important than that. Then the main thing that we're looking at here is wanting to go into the issues, and this is where it's going to highlight all of your issues, but specifically you can go by errors, warnings, or notices. And we want to usually for sure clean up the errors and warnings. The notices, these are things that are good to do. We may not always prioritize them, just depending on how much we have to get done and how much bandwidth we have. So what we can see here though, so we would then take all this and add it to a Google Sheet or an Excel document and then work our way through it. But you have 2 pages with duplicate title tags. You have 2 pages with duplicate meta descriptions. There's a good chance that these are the same pages here. If you don't know how to do something or what it means, you can click, they tell you why and how to fix it, and it'll give you what the issue is and then how you should go ahead and fix it. If we click into here, click on the 2 issues, it will then show us which pages have the duplicate. So our image optimization for SEO, best practice for naming alt text and file size. And it looks like we have, this blog post, image optimization for SEO, and then what is link building, that have the same title tag. And I'm going to guess that if we look at the meta descriptions, it's going to be those same 2. And what happened here was one of these blogs was created, it was duplicated to create the other blog, and then the meta description and title tag were not updated. So to fix that, we'd want to go see, if this is image optimization for SEO, this is going to be the correct one. The what is link building is going to be incorrect. So we want to go into that what is link building and update the title tag and the meta description. Once we do that, eventually, we would run through all of our fixes, and then we could come back and rerun this campaign, and then it's going to run the audit again, and these should be cleaned up. So we'll quickly take care of those errors, and then we would go on to looking at our warnings, and you can see a lot of this is unminified JavaScript and CSS files, a big chunk there. Outgoing internal links with no follow attributes. But basically, you have now the list of here's all the things that should get cleaned up, and then you can go and start to clean them up. And once you do that, you can come back over here and then rerun the campaign. Generally, depending on the scope of work, we are going to run this either monthly or quarterly. And then again, depending on bandwidth and how much how many issues that there are, we'll just continue to work through our lists, and we'll start with the errors and then go to the warnings and then go to the notices. And ideally, we're getting a healthier and healthier site as we do that. So I hope this was helpful. If you need help doing this, please feel free to reach out to us. This is what we do, and we would be very happy to work with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.